Don't worry about you.
They should have animated Forge's face when he turned on the news and he saw like all disappointed,
like I'm like Charlie in front of the board here, where I'm like, it's right there.
Is X-Men 97 better than the animated?
Would say yes.
We gotta have some, yeah, we're gonna have to have some real heart to hearts, you know, or maybe get in the danger room and work it out.
Because he's also still, you know, this human side that
flawed. I like that, and that's like a theme of the whole thing, pretty much. You know, from Cyclops, from Professor on down.
Mr. Sinister's in the intro to the show because Morph is frightened of him. It's kind of our window into existing with the X-Men.
This could have been an end of episode cliffhanger. They're like, sorry guys, I just found out that's the real Gene. Dun dun dun.
Don't worry about you.
They should have animated Forge's face when he turned on the news and he saw like all disappointed,
like I'm like Charlie in front of the board here, where I'm like, it's right there.
Is X-Men 97 better than the animated?
Would say yes.
We gotta have some, yeah, we're gonna have to have some real heart to hearts, you know, or maybe get in the danger room and work it out.
Because he's also still, you know, this human side that
flawed. I like that, and that's like a theme of the whole thing, pretty much. You know, from Cyclops, from Professor on down.
Mr. Sinister's in the intro to the show because Morph is frightened of him. It's kind of our window into existing with the X-Men.
This could have been an end of episode cliffhanger. They're like, sorry guys, I just found out that's the real Gene. Dun dun dun.
Don't worry about you.
They should have animated Forge's face when he turned on the news and he saw like all disappointed,
like I'm like Charlie in front of the board here, where I'm like, it's right there.
Is X-Men 97 better than the animated?
Would say yes.
We gotta have some, yeah, we're gonna have to have some real heart to hearts, you know, or maybe get in the danger room and work it out.
Because he's also still, you know, this human side that
flawed. I like that, and that's like a theme of the whole thing, pretty much. You know, from Cyclops, from Professor on down.
Mr. Sinister's in the intro to the show because Morph is frightened of him. It's kind of our window into existing with the X-Men.
This could have been an end of episode cliffhanger. They're like, sorry guys, I just found out that's the real Gene. Dun dun dun.
Don't worry about you.
They should have animated Forge's face when he turned on the news and he saw like all disappointed,
All right. Right. Oh shoot. I put the loop on like an idiot.
I put the loop on like a dummy. Yo, what up, y'all? It's megaran, and it's about that time. I gave y'all a full day. I gave y'all 24 hours. I gave you time. I really hope that you caught up. If you're not, stop this right now. Go watch. Even if you are, maybe open this up in a separate little window and a tab. And I needed some group therapy for this one. X-Men episode 9 of X-Men 97 has a lot of people in their fields for a lot of reasons. So we've been talking about every episode so far, and this is the next to the last one. I don't know what we're gonna do when this is over, but I can't speak enough about how this show has been making me feel. So not alone though. I brought some homies. So I want to bring out some people, and we're gonna have a rotating, ever-changing, ever-flowing group of folks here, and it's going to be a really good time. So I want to introduce first my brother, a professor, a lyricist, emeritus. This man has done it all, continues to do it all, and man, has seen it all. My brother Mickey Factz. What's good, sir? Oh, you on mute. You on mute. You on the mute
Oh,
channel.
that's right.
What up?
What's up, brother, man? I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be invited. I'm so happy to be talking about this. And people don't realize, how far back you and I go, and how cool we are, and our love for video games, comics, rap music. You know what I'm saying? So when you reached out to me, I said, listen, man, I can't come alone. I gotta bring some of my rap homies with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I think is so dope, man, is seeing that, all these worlds that we thought was so separate, they're all connected, man. Like hip hop, comics, video games, like we all grew up and we all branches on that same tree.
Yes.
And back in my day, it was looked at like we was the kids who played the video games and we were the nerds of the block. But everybody came together to talk about comic books. Like It was like, hey, did you get to do X-Men? Did you know what's happening here? Like, so let's bring in the rest of the crew and let's get it started. All right. First up, I want to introduce a Hot 97 producer, Funk Flex producer, personal producer, Tat Wza. What's up? And he's on
the same thing with Mickey.
Yeah. I see the corner that you in. I see what you got going on here. Yeah. I see the Captain America. I see the Spider-Man, and I see Morph hanging out.
Yeah, Morph. Morph right there.
Yo,
Morph.
I have so many questions, but let's continue on getting the crew out here. Let's bring out a legendary battle rapper, a good friend of the show, who I mispronounced his name. Let's bring out Swave.
Yo.
Here.
Also, an avid comic book reader.
That's what I'm talking about. This is what I want. I gotta add that in with everybody. So real quick,
add that, 'cause me and Mickey talk comics often,
all the time. I love it. I love to see it. Okay, so Facts. I'll start with you. What is your earliest X-Men memory? Is it a particular issue? Is it something that happened? Was it the animated series? What's your X-Men moment that where you was like, oh, all right, I'm in?
My earliest X-Men moment, I was going to school and it might have been 1990, 1991.
Okay.
And I was in the Bronx, so I was going to IS 131, and my moms would give me money to buy. She would give me money to buy lunch. So she would give me $5 every day. I would take that $5 and I would either buy basketball cards or I would buy comic cards. And I'm 11 years old. I'm reading the comic cards. So my X-Men knowledge first came from the comic cards. And then from the comic cards, because the comic cards, they would give you first appearance, abilities, weaknesses, strengths, villains that they fought, or heroes that they fought. You know what I'm saying?
And it came with a stick of gum.
Stick of gum, right?
Right. So you get your ratings, and you could be like, all right, well, this guy's more powerful than this person, but this guy's more intelligent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, man, during the pandemic, I got back into collecting the cards.
Oh,
I went all the way back. I found this dude on eBay. He had a pack of he had a box of 24 unopened cards. And I was like, all right, I'll take it. And man, I was just opening it up, going through all them feelings came back to me, man. That was a real good time.
So that was my first experience. And then, obviously I would start buying comic books, and then X-Men 97 came. I mean, X-Men 92 came out.
Yes, the anime series. So that was every Saturday, man. We was on it. We was we would come outside and talk about it immediately after it went off. It became a piece of the culture for sure. So yeah, Tat, what is your X-Men moment? What got you going on this series?
Well, first, see, it's interesting. Earlier, you said we'd all come outside and talk comics. I'm a little older, so I couldn't like. It was kind of faux pas to have comics in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So I would just go and look at the covers, read what I could, because they didn't always let you take the book out the plastic. You know what I'm saying? Read what I could and just have that knowledge or whatever. X-Men was one of my favorite, of course. Wolverine killed it. Actually, though, Storm is my favorite character overall, like in the whole Marvel. Like Storm is my favorite.
Storm is hella.
She is so
a lot
fire.
of people don't even know Storm is real powerful.
She's
Storm's a beast.
level 8. Like she's up there. Like you can't fuck with Storm. Like she's about that life. So that was one of my first like things about the comics was like when I would go check out the store. You know what I'm saying, on the low and not buy any comics to make sure I didn't get beat up on the way home.
Yo, that's real. Like that's a very real thing.
You couldn't be outside. You couldn't be outside with that. Otherwise, you were a nerd and they would get at you.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, I ain't go through that.
No,
I ain't go through that part.
Man, I remember like I was about to say, Swave, I didn't go through that either, but I felt like I went through it kind of on the video game tip. Like I used to have like video game magazines in school. And I used to stick them in front of the Sports Illustrated and open them up so that people wouldn't know I was reading Nintendo Power or whatever or comic books. So I definitely remember that.
I was never a nerd, but I was a nerd for comics.
Okay.
And I wasn't ashamed of it. Because anybody that knows me knows that Spider-Man is my number one. And if I put you on the phone with my mother and you ask her what was Swade's first word, she's gonna tell you Spidey.
Yo, that's
my
dope.
First word was Spidey, and my mother was like, I know you ain't just say no goddamn Spidey.
What?
I swear I put you on the phone. My mother will tell you. What was Swade's first word?
We're gonna have to get Swave mom on the next episode and confirm.
Word to my kids. So Spidey is. I know everything about Spider-Man. There's not a trivia question you can ask me about Spider-Man that won't get an answer.
That's crazy. All right, so I know you was going crazy when Spidey appeared last episode. I know you did the
when they just showed his hand in the episode before, when they just showed the web out. I was like, oh, look at my boy.
Look at my boy. He probably did the Leo and the meme, like yo.
I watched it with my son, so my son point out everybody, like, oh, there goes Spidey. He goes, there go Peter, because his thing is Miles. So
he like Miles, okay.
He's like, there go Peter.
Man, Miles got me back into the books. Like I was big into it, and I took a minute off. And when Miles came around, I was like, oh, all right. So it got me back into the books.
I think the movie, the Into the Spider-Verse, is really getting everybody in the mouth.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Because his comic book always been good to me, but with the movie, got mad people talking about it. Now they talking about doing a live action version of his movie. So yeah, I think the Into the Spider, that's the only thing Sony did right to me.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think Sony killed it with the Spider-Verse for sure. I can't wait till the next part of that comes up. That's gonna be that's gonna be wild. All right, so we got to get into episode 9, and man, first of all, this show is done such a good job of like getting our emotional ties. First of all, throwing it back to a lot of the classic episodes, a lot of classic issues, a lot of Chris Claremont influence in what's happening, and then the emotion of like showing a lot of the characters' true powers, like we mentioned Storm being able to see Storm go through a travel. Now we're in the process of seeing Rogue in her moment. A lot of people like Wolverine was the guy. So for a lot of my friends growing up, Wolverine has always been the guy. And I talk about on this show that I felt like Wolverine kind of took a back seat for everybody else's character to kind of shine. But when he does step up, or when he does do something, he's like Wolverine. Last episode, he Wolverines it. You know what I'm saying? Wolverine. So I wanted to talk about that real quick. So Tat, would you say like, was that intentional? You feel like they wanted Wolverine to kind of fall back for other people, or is it like just enough? Like, do you need more?
You know what? I hope so, because Wolverine, from the first animated series to the movies, the Fox movies, he always was kind of the focal point, right? And we love Wolverine, and we appreciate that. And you know, we're getting ready to have him again in this Deadpool 3, so it's gonna be super dope. But I think I hope it was intentional, because the way that they put this show together, this show might be, and you know, say what you want, but this show might be the greatest
Ain't no
piece that
might
Marvel ever did.
Whoa.
Live action, animated,
say
anything.
Say that with confidence. Ain't
The
no might
story, the way that they
Says,
rock
say it
the
with your
story,
chest.
the way, like you mentioned, the way that they bring in the old stuff. Like even in this episode, and he gives Cable, his son, the outfit, and he's like, "What you expect? Black leather?" That's the reference to the movie.
That was the movie, and in the movie they clowned the comic. They
It
was like, "Oh, what
was-
you
it
expect?
was
Blue and
so-
yellow?" And it's
so
like,
fire.
well,
It's
yeah.
like the way that they did this was so intentional. I can't see that them putting Wolverine on the back seat until they need Wolverine wasn't intentional. It has to be.
Yeah, I gotta
Yo,
believe
I
that.
just caught that, bro.
You could just
I knew
caught that.
about the leather part. Wait, I knew the leather, but you just said, yeah.
He
they
said
did
it.
do that in the
They
segment.
did it in the movie,
Yep.
and they was talking about the comic. And so,
That's crazy.
Yeah, which one, all yellow? Like it's the
what
same
you want? You want
exact
yellow?
thing.
Yeah. So they got him back. Like, nah, look at us now. Like,
Nah,
you know,
fire.
just
Fire.
the perfect callback. Like, there's so many moments like that where it's like, if you've been a fan, if you struggled through some of them Fox movies, you know, like I did, I do think after this show is over, I'm gonna probably go back and watch some of those movies again.
Those movies were dope for the time.
Yeah,
Because we didn't have anything better per se. We didn't have the MCU yet. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know anything could be better. You know, we were getting lackadaisical Fantastic Fours. You know, we were getting, you know, good Spider-Man movies, but not super consistent. So those Fox X-Men were top tier for the time.
Okay. And I'm gonna watch them again. To only one I remember being really bad, I guess, was the Wolverine movie, the last one, right? The Wolverine, and where they introduced Deadpool, and it was kind of whack. But anywho, the first two, I do remember the first two being pretty legit, as Drizzen says. They were solid.
The Wolverine origin. I like the way it started. I hated the way it ended.
That was like one of the first movies that got like super bootlegged. I remember like people was getting the early copies and without the effects in it. It was like, oh, what is this? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember like
when he was fighting on the reactor.
Yeah,
the non-CGI version.
Yeah. It's like, what is this? What is happening?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my god! All right, so let's get to that. Yo, you still got the classic bootleg. Oh my god, that joint went platinum in the barbershops. So all right, I want to go through what happens in X-Men episode 9, and then we're gonna talk about it because I don't know if I was ready. I guess I figured this was about to get kind of crazy, but like I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna get here. So let me just read this. All right, so at episode 9. Oh wait, that's not episode 9. I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. Xavier is met with some distrust, but the X-Men focus on stopping Bastion and convincing Magneto to reverse his blackout. Magneto reestablishes his mutant haven on Asteroid M, choosing to leave Earth without power and reject Xavier's dream of mutant and human coexistence. He invites the X-Men to join him, which Rogue and Roberto do. The rest of the X-Men return to their former base on Muir Island to regroup before splitting into 2 teams. And this was dope, seeing the blue team and the gold team form. Asteroid M is where the blue team goes to confront Magneto, while Storm and Jean are heading up the gold team to go to Bastion's hideout in the Galapagos Islands. Beast and Forge create a collar that can block Bastion's technopathy and sever his control over the Sentinels. The gold team battles an army of Bastion-controlled Sentinels, as well as Sinister, who takes control of Cable's mind and uses him to overpower Jean. She sends a desperate psychic message to Cyclops. While on Asteroid M, Xavier attempts to take control of Magneto's mind, but is blocked. Wolverine stabs Magneto, and I was like, yeah. And then Magneto gets the last word by ripping the adamantium metal out of Wolverine's skeleton.
He was like, yeah, when that happened, I was like, oh shit.
Oh, you knew like it was about to go the other way.
First of all, I keep it real. The only I ain't gonna say it was an issue because I don't think they missed yet. But you know, in the comic book, Wolverine got a slight fear of Magneto. He don't really mess with him like that. He can't really do much with him.
Him stepping right to him. So
Magneto toys with Wolverine. Like, boy,
Mike, you know what I could do.
Like, no, he like, yo, Wolverine, go sit down somewhere. Like, so when
go sit down somewhere.
I said, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
it's like, and went around with the blades or something and finished him. If you're gonna do it, you can't just stab this man. This man just said survive blast. Come on, man. He got an asteroid hovering over your fucking.
Like, you gotta know right now, that this ain't gonna do it for this ain't gonna do it.
So I was like, ooh, wait a minute. Damn, Logan.
Man. Okay, so I mean, I'll go around that. So Mickey, at that point, I didn't see this coming, but all right, at the point where Wolverine gets the stab in, are you thinking like, all right, they got him, or is this like the beginning of the end?
Well, this happened in the comics, the exact same scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So like when he stabbed him, I was like, if he's not dead, Wolverine is about to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because when when what you said, Mega, like I was like, oh, right. And then I said, but then after I said, oh, I know what's about to happen next.
Exactly.
That's kind of how it went. It's like, oh yeah, oh no, oh yeah.
And you know, the when they showed it, I wanted them to show it actually happening. But they showed a little bit, and then it was the exact panel from the
they gave
comic.
a still panel of it, like you gonna feel this, like here's the still moment that is happening, which was crazy. They probably tried to animate it, and it was probably like wild, uncomfortable to look at. You know what I'm saying? That seems pretty gruesome to watch somebody's like bones coming out of their body. So maybe that's when they decided to go to a still moment. Oh, we got Marcos here. What's going on, Marcos?
What's going on?
Yeah, it's our co-host with the co-most. Welcome. So meet the crew. We are we kind of working backwards. Yeah, I mean, New York is in the building. Man, I'm overrun by New Yorkers right now. As a Philadelphia fan, this is really depressing.
Let's go, Knicks.
Let's go, Knicks. Let's go, Knicks.
This is very depressing right now. Anywho,
see you next season.
That's right. You're gonna see us next season.
So
talk about it, Marcos. What was your reaction when you got the moment, the claws in, and
it was like, you know, this is obviously pulled from Fatal Attractions, the X-Men comic back from '99, like almost panel for panel. Basically what's going on here is, you know, spoiler alert for anybody, Wolverine doesn't die, but the thing is they left it at a point that you don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do the Wolverine bone claws. They can, but I would be disappointed. That's the run that I don't really like in the comics. And they never, like, it was so many years, like about a year later they gave it back to him. But to go back what you were saying earlier, they did the actual panel exactly the way it is, and I like that they went fade to black. But they're doing a couple storylines, or they're pulling from both storylines at the same time for this, and I think it was a perfect ending. And to go back what you guys were saying earlier, here's the thing: Wolverine might like logically think that he's scared of Magneto, but he's not. Like he said it himself. He foreshadowed what was happening. He said the bravest person always dies first.
Yeah.
And then he, like, you know, he wasn't talking about Magneto, because right then and there, the fact that he's still having a conversation with Magneto and he's like literally 6 claws deep in his chest, he knew he took his shot and he missed.
Yeah.
And like going back to something that I told Rand, like the whole setup came from Scott. The fact that Scott was like thinking about his wife, because
give them more time or some shit he said.
Yeah, because you got to think about if Professor Xavier or X would have done what he needed to do, every single mutant killer would have been unfrozen, and they would have head to where Bastion was, and then it would have been a wrap for Team Gold. So, like, again, they showed us why Professor X chose Magneto because Scott, he's always going to make the decision based with his heart, whereas a leader makes it based on what the actual
like the right decision. Like,
yeah, it's like we're gonna win.
You gotta mute Swave.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, let's mute him for a second.
Okay. Yeah, man. I actually was going to ask that. That's like the main question I wanted to touch on about this episode, is because a lot of people I see are having an issue with it. Is Xavier finally reveals that he left Magneto in charge because he wanted Scott to go, basically to go have a family, go home and be a family man, like Gal says. So, but they get mad about hearing it, like, yo, you know, what are you talking about? Like, the freedom to leave doesn't matter in this situation because I was born to be different. You know what I'm saying? Our duty is to try to save the world or whatever. You know, superheroes, they say great power, great responsibility, all that. So I wanted to go around the table real quick and be like, did Professor X make the right decision?
100%. You got to think about it. Magneto, with all his flaws, he's a great leader. That's a reason why he was able to get all the villains together to fight the X-Men. There's a reason why Magneto is more feared than Professor X, even though I believe Professor X is stronger than Magneto. But the thing is, Magneto will make the decision that nobody else will make, the unthinkable. He sees everything mathematically. Like, even like he lost the most important thing to his life, which was his family, you know, back during the Holocaust. So from then on, he's like, it's all good. Like, everybody's replaceable, like, except, you know, Xavier. But the thing is, he don't care. Like, he's like he basically, he said in the dialogue, he, you know, when Professor X was like, what about the thousands that could die? And he was like, what about the thousands that already died?
Yeah,
it's like eye for an eye. He's like, he's mathematical.
They gave a really good quote. Again, this stuff is never accidental. It's always intentional. He said something about whose lives matter more. And it's like, now you got to sit and think, like, yo, I lost mad people. Like, so I'm supposed to worry about these people and they didn't worry about my people. So it's very interesting to hear where he took that. So, Mickey, what do you think? Did Professor make the right decision? I mean, knowing what we know about Magneto and how he's changed, it's easy to have 20/20 hindsight. But was it the right move to put Magneto in charge and not Cyclops?
Yes. Magneto, you know, like he said, Magneto is very calculated, you know, and he's going to make the tough decisions when it's time to make the tough decisions. And it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a brutal decision. You know, we as the audience might not like it sometimes, but he's going to.
Is he going to make the X-Men decision? Like, I mean, to me, that's not where the X-Men have rode, you know?
I thought he was doing a great job as a leader up until Genosha. He was doing I think he would have did a better job than Cyclops. He was doing great up until Genosha. Even in Genosha, like, I don't think about this. If he puts Cyclops in charge, does Cyclops go to Genosha? Does he do what does he take his visor off? Can that visor get rid of that version of Master Mold? I don't think so. And I think Magneto did enough to warrant Charles making the best decision. Like, he was whipping on that Master Mold with a train, bruh. I don't think Cyclops has the strength and the power to do that and make the right judgment calls in the field. Like, Magneto was making the right judgment calls. It just didn't go his way at that time. But then when he got free, he was like, I'm tired, B. Y'all playing with me. I tried to do it your way. It didn't work. I tried, Charles. Now let's do it my way. Let's do it my way, Frank Sinatra style. And he honored his wishes up until he couldn't no more. You gotta give Magneto his props.
I can't even argue with that. I can't argue with that.
Hold on.
I feel like because him and Charles got this long friendship, you gotta don't forget they go back years.
decades.
And I think he really tried, because, you know, if you really remember the old X-Men, Charles was presumed dead. You feel me? So he was doing everything he could do to honor his man's wishes. Yeah. And I feel like no matter how much they beat, he still had that love for that man. Like, nah, okay. In your honor, I got you. I'm gonna lead the people. I'm gonna try to do things your way.
I can't even argue with that. But you know, just didn't go that way.
I think after seeing too many of his people slain, my man went back to his ways. Like, you know what? Nah, we not.
Nah. I said never again.
And we got who we got.
I like that he brought back that, you know, Leech in particular being like a really tough thing for him, because he's like, yo, I looked at him and said it was gonna be all right, like, and it wasn't. So like, I gotta do what I gotta do. So when he comes to him and gives the other X-Men the decision, two of the X-Men decide to roll with him. Tat, were you surprised that Rogue and Roberto ran with Magneto?
I mean, they already gave us, like, Rogue has this thing with Magneto. So when that happened, I was like, you know, maybe you feeling a little funny from your fool getting, you know, becoming the hero that he became. Rest in peace, Gambit. And you know what? But they kind of gave us in the ending of the last one and the recap, Magneto was right. So that's how she was looking at it. Like, yo, man, I witnessed this bloodshed in Genosha. I saw the fabulousness, the greatness that Genosha was about to be. And I saw the fear that somebody from the rest of the world came in and took over and destroyed and killed all of these people. And when are we gonna stop this from happening? We just had a mass casualty event. Like, how is this gonna stop that? And I think she was like, you know what? I'm tired too. Right. Roberto, a little surprised, only because, bro, you brand new.
Yeah.
Like, who are, like, you know,
right? You new here,
like,
bro.
You new here, brother.
Who are you? And you over here, you know, Jubilee's telling you how to do everything in life and giving you your confidence, and really you turning your back on her because you wasn't even a part of the X-Men, really. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So really, it's like, bro, like,
you just got your uniform. Like, what you doing?
But I did feel when and again, it's a part of the writing of this series. It's crazy, right? He literally was like, look, I with y'all, even though I don't know y'all like that, but my moms just gave me up. My moms just gave me up to be one of these sick things. My moms,
yo.
He feel betrayed.
I got nobody in this world now.
So you got if you ain't got moms.
And this dude just blacked the whole earth out and stopped all of these shits. I'm going over here.
Going with moms. I mean, like, yeah, like if you moms turn your back, who else you got? So that he gave the good explanation for sure. Oh, we have one more guest added to the fray. The one and only Chocolate Boy Wonder. PR, what's good, sir? Oh, these New Yorkers.
I don't know if y'all can hear me. I can't hear nobody.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right, I think I can hear you now.
You hear us? Okay.
What's going on, brother?
Pete Rock, what's good?
X-Men 97,
I just needed to talk to my people.
That's the best shit Marvel's doing right now. Animated.
Oh my God, it's so incredible. Bro, all right, so we are talking about, and I noticed you're wearing that Incredible Hulk shirt. So this is perfect timing.
That's a Morph shirt. That's a Morph shirt.
Oh, the classic. It's the movie joint.
It's a Morph shirt.
It's the shirt joint. Okay, so tell me this, because I had one of my buddies, shout out to Pagan in the chat, who noticed it last episode or one of the other episodes. When Morph changes into someone, he also gets their powers and abilities. So my man morphs into Hulk and starts Hulk smashing just because. So
he was doing
am I new? Did I miss that? Pete Rock, maybe you please explain where did Morph get this power? What is it going on?
You know what? Morph can morph anyone into anyone, basically. You know, that from what I know of him.
So
even
though
I saw of Morph on the cartoons, he was morphing into anyone, like anybody. So that's all I really know about
So to interject there, how's it going, Pete?
What's up?
So Morph is a character that he could basically take on anybody's abilities that he knows of.
Mm-hmm.
So he turned into the Hulk and he got the Hulk's power, but limited. Like he won't necessarily get angrier and stronger. If you notice, Jean Grey was giving him the assist. She was bouncing him around, and also I think they didn't really refer to it. I think she also gave him the mind control that Morph might have lost, because you think about it, the Hulk's power is pure rage. So the angrier you get, the more you stop thinking clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the episodes before, this is not the first time he turned into the Hulk.
Wow.
Like he did it earlier in the season, but he didn't use it. But it's kind of like to use DC Comics. If you ever watched Beast Boy, like Beast Boy can turn into anything, but he can't fully like acquire the full power because you know,
Beast Boy animals though.
Yeah,
animals.
But like if he's like a dinosaur, he's not as strong as an actual dinosaur.
Right.
Oh yeah,
But, okay.
So it's like the power is limited, but it was cool. It was a nice little cameo.
I mean, I want to say this. I want to say this, man. Hulk in X-Men 97 was the best Hulk we've seen in the MCU.
In 20 years.
I'm get these guys started on
She-Hulk. I'm gonna have to agree.
I'm gonna call him Mulk. Mulk.
Yeah, let's call him Mulk.
Yeah, because he said Morph Smash. I don't know if you guys peeped that. He said
Morph Smash. He said Morph Smash. Yeah, Morph Smash. But you know what's crazy? Like the two moves that Morph did as the Hulk, I've never seen. Like he did the smash and then turned into like a cannonball.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
Hulk actually did that before though.
I've never seen it in live action though.
He actually did that before. He did a sonic roll. He got the Hulk clap. Yeah, he did.
But then he jumped up in the air and then turned into like a tornado.
He did it in the Hulk series, the animated series.
That's crazy. That was fire. Shout out.
That was nuts, man.
That was just incredible.
That was nuts. I love how, like we said, I love about this show is that everybody gets their moment to do something crazy where you just like, all right, like everybody has had a moment. And I kept being like, Wolverine needs this moment. And then last episode, he went crazy, him and Nightcrawler. Yeah. So everybody gets the time. So Pete, I got to ask you, we've been going around the table. Yeah. Did Professor X make the right decision by giving Magneto the squad?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Because Magneto would fuck around and turn on him later. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like he won't be loyal to the situation, man.
Wow. Okay.
That's interesting. Any rebuttal on that? Because I don't know.
I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree.
Okay.
Because the thing is, Magneto is something that Xavier is not. He's impartial. He completely looks at the numbers. He's like, oh, you killed one of my guys, I'm gonna kill two of your guys. You know what I mean? And then and in Genosha, you noticed he was out of everybody on the show, he was attacking and defending at the same time. You know, he wasn't trying to like, oh, let's focus on saving. No, he was like, no, I'm gonna take these guys out while I'm trying to save people. Like the only issue that he has an anger problem. He's the X-Men version of the government. Think about it. The government is like, well, we have protocols, and Magneto has his own protocols. He's like, you mess around, you're gonna find out. Straight up. Like that's all that it was there.
Okay, so I must be missing a few episodes or something because I've been busy, you know, doing other shit, but
working on classic albums. I'm sure
it's all good, but
I know a lot's going on over there.
I'll catch up and we could revisit this conversation.
We should revisit for sure. Yeah, I think. Well, we'll see. I mean, we got one more episode left, and then I'm gonna probably go back anyway because I think this show has been crazy. So I'll go around the table and ask, well, I think I already know the answer. I think it was Tat who said that this is like the greatest thing that Marvel has ever made.
It really is.
So that leads me to think, of course, then you think this is better than the original animated series. This is better than the movies.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And it's the best.
It's better than real movies.
So that's the part I wanted to. So here's the thing that I've heard people mention that I wonder if it will even happen. And let's see, Swave, you can take this one. Do you think there's a possibility that they could run this into the MCU by the end of this series and be like, all right, this story is where the MCU is going to pick up X-Men from?
Okay, this is what I do think. I think anything's possible, but I think if they smart, they should. They need to take this storyline and try to somehow put this or make it make sense with what they got going on now. Because we go, like me and Mickey was talking about this not too long ago, and Mickey said something like he don't think they want to spend the money on the X-Men, and I think they should. I think they should spend the same amount of money that they spend on Avengers and just do a whole X-Men wave with this kind of storyline. I think it'll work. This is the kind of X-Men we've been waiting to see.
Yeah.
I know I have. I know
Me
I
too.
have.
Me too.
I agree. This is what we've been waiting for.
And truthfully, if it's going the way I'm thinking it's going, we're about to see Onslaught.
I was about to say that. Do you feel like Onslaught is the next step?
Yes.
Like next episode or like next season sometime?
If you're going according to the comics,
it's the next episode.
What about Sinister?
I think Sinister is gonna, like always. He reminds me of the X-Men version of Skeletor. He's like, "I'll get you next time, X-Men." like he as soon as the chips are out, like he's like the homeboy that you've been drinking all day with, and then when the check come, he like, yo, where he at? Like, we're supposed to be paying. He gone. Like, you ain't gonna find that man. That man is gonna always live. He's like a cockroach.
Skeletor that's probably the best way to describe Mr. Sinister. Skeletor.
That was right on the nose.
We kept talking about how like we kept trying to get to the bottom of who was going to be the big boss of this season, and nobody saw Bastion coming. But
no, I still think.
But do you think it's still somebody ahead of that?
I still think we're gonna get Apocalypse because they left breadcrumbs all around. Because Onslaught, as amazing as Onslaught is a short run. He's like a byproduct of what directly happens. Basically, Professor X lobotomizes Magneto because he saw the pain that he put Wolverine through. So, you know, and then you already got a hint because Magneto said, "He's like, oh, it's great to see that you're willing to do what it takes," and you know, it's gonna, but it's like if he does that, it's gonna radically change how Professor X is portrayed on the show and everything. And to go back what you said earlier, I think this show is better than the 96 version or the classic version. It's because the classic version was not for us. It was a show to make kids tell their parents to buy action figures. And like as soon as the line started making no money, that's when all of a sudden it got canceled. You got to think about it. It's crazy that a lot of the stuff that they made back in the day for young kids, it was just a 30-minute commercial, including He-Man. And then when they can't make no more money, they're like, all right, well, on to the next one, you know? But I think seeing the fact that they have good animation and they have money behind it and there's no goal other than to get viewers and ratings.
And great writing.
Will Spidey 98 happen?
Oh, he said the Spidey 98 happened. Do we get?
I think so, but it all depends what Sony says, and if we're gonna disregard that hot garbage that Spider-Man 2099 was.
Oh my god!
I still don't understand that cartoon. Like I watched it as an adult, and I was like, "What is going on here?"
I don't think
they have a cartoon. They had that Spider-Man Unlimited shit.
Yeah, the Unlimited. I didn't like that.
That was not good.
Yeah, that's
they have a cartoon. But
are you sure it wasn't it?
No, it was Unlimited. I think you're talking about.
Unlimited. It was Unlimited.
Yeah. You're right. But it was supposed to mimic 2099 because it was the same timeline, and then it's just
it kind of went off. You know when they brought it back in the new Guardians of the Galaxy 3, they brought the world that Spider-Man Unlimited went to.
With the animals.
Yeah.
They brought that back in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
So it's all connected.
Well, that was connected to High Evolutionary.
And Spider-Man
High Evolutionary. Yes.
That was the world that Spider-Man went to in Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah, the Spider-Man Unlimited. I'm looking at the production. That was supposed to be Fox's version of Spider-Man 2099 because they had the same suit, but then it's like that was the only thing. They just threw everything away. They were like, we're gonna grab this suit because we need new action figures, and then
it wasn't.
I don't remember the suit being the same. The suit was the same.
It was. Yeah, look it up. Hold on, I'm pulling it up.
Peter Parker. It's Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah, but they were trying to backdoor because they didn't want to lose kids. Because remember, the kids were like 12 years old. It was supposed to be Fox's version of that adaptation because they didn't want to go full blown in 2099 because that would have confused kids because it would have been a whole completely new character. Like they basically gave it. I'm about to date myself. They basically gave it the He-Man, what's it called, the future one, where all of a sudden He-Man went into the future and there was like a whole bunch of different things and nobody like that show died immediately. But
I forgot all about that.
I don't think we're gonna get a Spidey 98 because we got the prequel for his comic. The Spider-Man joint drop. Is that dropping this year? Does anybody know?
Next year they moved it out.
What Spider-Man? What Spider-Man dropped?
Spider-Verse. You talking about?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Part
not
2.
Spider-Verse, not the Spider-Verse. I'm talking
He's talking about the
animated freshman for Disney Plus.
Oh, they're doing an animated series.
Yeah.
A new one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I even knew about that. Okay.
Yeah,
it's not going to be like this. It's not going to be like X-Men.
It ain't going. Nah, it's not going to hit like this.
No, it's going to be.
It's not going down her tap.
But it's also based on the Tom Holland Spider-Man character.
Yeah, but the thing is, the way Marvel is rolling now, they just like stopped everything, and they're kind of like reviewing all the IP that they have because they put on so much stuff like that they try to build upon. Like the last 2 years, they didn't make a lot of money. That's why all of a sudden Deadpool is their only movie this year.
Wow.
And they're gonna drop 1 or 2 movies a year, and I believe they said 1 or 2 shows because nobody ever like pays attention. Like literally outside of fans like us, every time a new Marvel movie somebody comes out, like what was it, Madam Web? They're like, oh, is Spider-Man gonna be in there?
Whoa! Do not call that a Marvel movie, please.
Oh, please!
It had their stamp. It had their stamp on it.
In association with.
We don't acknowledge. Yeah, that's not official.
Horrible.
But I'm saying
the
IP is kind of like, it's associated. Just like, with the Batman, people ask like, how come what's it called? Ben Affleck was not in the Batman that came out 2 years ago. Like that was so confusing for people. But Marvel's dialing all that back. And
that's smart, man. I think it's so smart. Like, people talk about that whole superhero burnout and fatigue and all that. But as soon as this show hit, we ain't hearing that no more. So basically, if y'all make dope stuff that's different, that's like you have fun with it, you step outside the box, there is no such thing as the burnout or fatigue. The fatigue is with making stuff that's not, creative or imaginative. So I think this show is definitely changing the whole direction. So we got 1 more episode left. I want to go through it with a little bit of predictions. I'm going to see if I can get one from each of y'all. What do you think happens next episode? Me, I'm going to just say, if they go with the comic, I think that Jean saves Wolverine because in the comic, I believe she puts his skeleton back together, and then Wolverine is in the normal like skeleton mode. So I feel like that happens for the final episode. But other than that, the fact that I know that Bo DeMayo wrote 2 full seasons before he was fired or let go or whatever tells me that they don't have to clean all this up in 1 season. And first of all, that's a crime. They need to bring that dude back. Like, I don't know what he did.
I need to know.
I don't even care what he did. I don't care. Bring him back. Like,
I don't care what he did either. He needs to come back ASAP.
What if he was punching babies and dogs?
Right.
And what did
the baby's got to take one for the team.
What did the baby do? I mean, you know,
put that image in my head. He punched the baby, and he got to go somewhere and jump off a bridge.
But look,
what did the baby do? Yeah, I think we get Bone Claws Wolverine next episode. That's my only prediction because I don't know what else is happening. All right, Tat Wza, give me a prediction. What you think happens next episode?
I mean, you know, this has been one of the things that Pete and Mickey and I talk about all the time, and I always say I don't like predictions because then with predictions come expectations. And when expectations aren't met, that's when we start, yo, this shit, it was so good up until this and da. And I don't know. I don't know the comic series specifically that it's running off of. What I'd like to see happen is definitely, you know, Bastion take this super L. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I just want to watch it. I'm going to leave it at that. I just want to watch it.
For me, I'm gonna say Onslaught is pulling up. I definitely think Onslaught is on the way, and I believe we're gonna see Gambit resurrected as probably Apocalypse's death angel. Yeah, I think that's gonna happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if another X-Men dies.
Sheesh.
Okay, let me ask you this, Mickey. What X-Men going down?
Who gotta go? Who gotta go?
If I had to take an educated guess on who would die, I would say probably Beast.
Oh, not Beast. Not Beast. Blue Streak said Morph, and I was like, you know what? All right.
Nah, Morph can't die again.
You can't take another Morph.
Not another one, please.
Morph. Somebody said Morph needs to get into the MCU somehow. So
I think it'll be cool to see Morph turn into Iceman before he dies because I do think he's gonna die. It'll be cool to see. Then we would have seen the gold and the blue team fully in this entire series. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't think did we? Yeah, we did see him turn into Angel. So like if we could see Iceman one time. Iceman, Onslaught, and Apocalypse and Gambit, I'm good. Then this will be the greatest.
That'll be fine.
Then y'all gonna say season 2 is trash because it doesn't equal anything moving after that climax. Like, let's not give it too much.
It can't be trash. Can't be
impossible.
Nah, you know
let season 2 happen. It's gonna happen.
I think
it can't
Onslaught is coming in the next episode.
All right,
but I think the cliffhanger is going to be Apocalypse for the next season.
Yes, I could see that because they've been showing him in every intro and he ain't popped up.
I think Apocalypse is going to show up at the end and we're going to be mad. So we got to wait till next season to see what happens, which is going to make us tune in the next season because we're going to all want to know what's going on. And I think Mickey's right with the Gambit situation. I think he's going to become. I think when Apocalypse shows up, Gambit is going to be resurrected as Death.
Okay.
And it's all going to be for the next season, though. The Gambit, Death, Apocalypse next season, but they're going to give us a cliffhanger at the end of the next episode.
The cliffhanger.
So we're going to see Onslaught. It's going to be short-lived, like my man said. He's going to lobotomize him. He's going to get trapped in his brain. Onslaught, blah, blah, blah. The Wolverine get healed by Jean. I believe that's going to happen. And then they're going to introduce Apocalypse.
Cable, gotta head out. Y'all gotta head out
now. Yeah.
All right, Mick. Okay, Swave, that's a good one. It's a lot to pack in 30 minutes on the last episode, but we'll see.
That's why these episodes are hitting though, because they all
that's true. They got like bam, bam, bam. Pete, is there one thing, Pete Rock, that you would say you predict is going to happen in this, and then we're going to rate this episode 9 and then get out of here. So, is there a prediction for the last episode?
Well, like Tat said, we don't do predictions too much, but what I would want to happen is for Wolverine to be, for Jean to help Wolverine out.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like Wolverine and having a Jean moment would be real dope.
Yeah.
I think that, we just getting over Gambit. Like, if they like, oh, Wolverine going, you like, damn, like that's going to really hit hard. So I think you spend a little bit of time on the next episode figuring out how to bring him back.
At the same time, can I say this? Can I add this real quick? I like that they don't make Wolverine the focal point.
Yeah. I like it too, because we've seen Wolverine. We've seen what he could do. He's been the man everywhere he went. It's like now to see him fall back.
For Wolverine and the X-Men, like they made him the centerpiece.
He's been the
like,
guy.
Really,
so
yeah.
Nah,
I
you're
like
right.
that they didn't do that so much with this. Like I love Wolverine, but I like that they ain't always falling on him to save the episode. Like they using more. That whole shit was crazy to me. Like they using other people and other abilities. They bring it in other aspects, and they make. Yeah, I love it. This shit ain't missed yet, though. It ain't missed yet.
It ain't missed. So I expect the last episode to do exactly what this has been doing. All right. So Tolerance is Extinction is going to wrap up next week. So this episode 9, part 2, we got to rate this episode. We rate everything from 1 to 10. We try not to give 10s, but we've done it once this season, episode 5, which was crazy. But everything else we try not to, because 10 is like the point of no return. Ain't nowhere to go but down. So I try not to. But I'm gonna set it off this one with saying this episode is a 9. It's a 9 for me because they did everything they're supposed to do. They pack it in. Ain't no wasted, no filler, no nothing. And by the end, if I'm going by the end, then it's like, all right.
I gotta catch up, man.
On episode 5, I gave a 10.
I gave episode 5 a 10. Yes.
So this is like a 9.8 because this ain't that
far. I was gonna say that.
It's not far. You're right.
The same things that made you say episode 5 was a 10 with Gambit and all of that. You're getting kind of along the same lines with Wolverine and Magneto battling it out. This is too close. I honestly. If 5 is a 10, I want to say this is a 10 too.
All right. We got a 10 from Tat. We got a 9.8 from Swave. Marcos, what you got? You on mute.
I know. I'm gonna say this is a 9.5. I still think episode 5, just because of the shock value, we didn't know what we were gonna get. That set the table for everything else. I do think that
it did.
I think the last episode is going to round up the season. My prediction is Wolverine is not going to be conscious. He's going to end the season in a coma. I think we're going to get Onslaught. That's going to be saved for 2. I think we're going to get the resolution of Bastion. And I do think that right before we fade to black, my man is going to pull up like Thanos, walk in and be like, fine. I'm gonna handle this, and he's gonna be the looming threat, not for the beginning of season 2, but I think he's gonna be the guy season 2 and season 3, which is I believe they wrote accordingly. So we're definitely gonna be eating good next week.
Yeah,
yes, indeed. All right, Pete, what would you rate this episode out of 10? Would you give it?
Out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 9, flat 9.
All right, flat 9. And I think it's a great episode. I'm looking forward to more. You gotta catch up, Pete. This show,
I gotta catch up. That's what it is.
Insane, but it just keeps getting better and better to me. So this is some of the best work that Marvel's done. So if anybody's watching that Marvel, call up Bo DeMayo and be like, "We're sorry, the kid deserved it. It's cool. Come on back, because this man is writing pure gold right now. Fire. The man's pen is on fire. So we're going to get out of here. Please tell everybody, we're going to go around the table, tell everybody how to find you. And if you got one last parting shout out or what you're working on, please give it to the people. I'm going to start with Pete. You in the middle. Let's go.
Me, because May 22nd, we dropped the first single to the Pete Rock Common album, and this joint is called Wise Up, and we did the video, and you know what I'm saying, the album is a game changer. And you can find me at Real Pete Rock on Instagram, or Pete Rock on Twitter, on X, and on Facebook I'm Rankin Phillips.
Man, thank you so much for doing this for hip hop, I'm gonna say, because I'm so excited about this record.
Let's go,
Pete
Knicks.
Rock, Common. And since y'all beat my Sixers, all right, go Knicks. All right, I guess.
Let's go, Knicks.
All right. Tat Wza, give him a shout out. What you got? Where can we find you?
Yeah. Find me TATWZA on all platforms. I can't wait for this next episode. The writing, I just want to say one more time, the writing on this, which I don't think was all Bo, but we still need his guidance regardless, overall. But there's no filler on this. Every piece they pack in with some substance of, you know, small little, you know, whatever it is, they give you something to remember in this. The entire series has been phenomenal, and super excited to see next week.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, y'all.
Right.
Thanks for having me, peoples.
Of course. Appreciate you, Legend. Thank you for taking the time.
You already know.
Swave, how do they find you, sir?
Swave at Swave Sevah _ on Twitter. Anybody want to know when my next battle? I got a battle this month, May 25th. I got a show in Brooklyn, May 17th. So y'all can find me at those. And one more thing I want to say before I leave about the show. I love the way Rogue's son, Captain America, threw his shield to Mount Everest. Like, don't get it. I love that. Yo, she said, yo, you ain't going to be needing this thing. And he got tight. I just say, yo, that was hilarious to me. I love that.
That was so good.
Yeah,
Rogue's been like low key my favorite in this series, yo. Like,
I love
Rogue has been killing it. Absolutely.
Yes.
Marcos.
Yes.
Tell the people how to find you. Appreciate y'all so much for being there.
I'm out of here.
Oh yeah. All right,
I gotta go as well. Sorry.
All right, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Yes, sir. I'll let y'all know when this is up. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Love.
All right, peace.
Marco. As always, you can find us at the Sunset Kid 56. You know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's more just for me, my friends. Everything else, you can find me there. You know.
All right. Well, sir, we didn't get to kick off this show like we normally do with a little bit of
yep.
You know, intro and all that stuff and the script and all that. But sometimes the rules gotta get thrown out the window. We had a packed house today.
Yeah, man.
We got to talk about a lot of good things. We have a question from the chat. Is 5'6" your height? Is that why you have 5'6" at the end of your account?
Drizzen, go jump in the lake. Worry about your foot, bro.
Oh man, it looks like everybody in the world is pulling for the Knicks except for Shaunica being from Indiana. But I'm you know what? The team that beats my team, I'm okay with it. I hope y'all go to the finals. I really do. So I'm pulling for the Knicks, I will say, because I mean Jalen Brunson has been killing it. I love
bully ball all
I love
day.
The Villanova connection. So there's a bit of a Philly connection on the team. So I can root for that. All right. And yeah, man, another great episode in the can. And we got one more. So if y'all have any questions, any comments, any ideas, or maybe who we should bring on for the last episode, please,
I say Bo. Let's bring Bo. Let's make it happen.
That would
everybody flood his inbox on Instagram. He replies to
timeline because he will reply. So please hit up Bo and just say, like, oh man, have you ever heard of Xpod 97? Yo, you should get on there, man, because I think it would be amazing. That would be how you end it. Actually, you know what? I don't know if we should give it away, but he did get back to you and say after the season ends that he'll be open to chat.
We'll see. So, you know, man is gonna be busy.
Fingers crossed, man. We'll be busy. His phone's gonna be ringing off the hook, yo.
Yep.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But thank y'all once again for joining us for another action-packed episode, Xpod 97. We have merch now, y'all. You can go to my linktree, linktree.com/megaran, and you can click on Xpod 97 merch. You can get shirts, you can get hoodies, you can get mugs, you can get stickers, and all that good stuff. And yeah, don't forget to keep rating us, listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. I was about to say Spodcast, wherever you get Spodcast, those two. Appreciate it. Shout out to all of our guests today. Tat Wza, Swave Sevah. We had Mickey Factz and the legendary Pete motherfreaking Rock showing up.
Woo!
I can't even believe it. What is this? What is our life? We should be so blessed. But anywho. Thank you so much. Somebody just bought an Xpod coffee mug. Thank you, Priest. I appreciate
that.
Much love and support. And there will be more coming soon. So all right. I gotta say, This time, I'm out like Wolverine's adamantium skeleton.
Wow. Wow.
All right, and we out of here. Peace.
Hey, this is Marcos. Thanks for supporting the X-Pod 97. We now have merch, y'all. Grab a t-shirt, grab a sticker, grab a hoodie, or even get a mug for one of your relatives or something. I don't know. Rep the greatest X-Men podcast on the planet. We love doing what we do, and we want to continue bringing you weekly episodes. So don't forget to rate us and always subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest drops. Thanks again. We appreciate everything. See ya next time.
Yeah. All right. Now it's over for real. All right. We out of here, y'all.
Later.
Peace. All right. I ended.